Should we do anything? I think we should just do like our classic free-for-all.
Do you need a beer?
I mean, that would be awesome, but I'd be sweating by the end.
Welcome to Rebel Watch, an all-Star Wars podcast.
Hey, what are you trying to push on us?
Perhaps you think you're being treated unfairly.
Hey, Star Wars fans, welcome to Rebel Watch. I'm Ez, and this is my good buddy, Mike. How's it going today, brother?
Well, Ez, we're in my tiny office.
We are, and it
You're having
is
some work done at your place.
Yeah, having some work done at my place. We're in this hot, cramped. I feel like I'm right on top of Mike.
Yeah.
So it's great.
It's the usual, though.
It's the usual, right in here. This is, as you said, podcasting on a budget.
That's right, on a budget.
And since it's so hot,
A cold
in here,
opening.
I kind of thought I would get something
Couple squirrels, Ez.
going here.
Couple squirrels.
Goodness.
Nice nut brown.
You know,
Compliments
wow, that is
of
actually really
Ryan
good.
Geist and Cincy.
That's actually really good.
All right. You're building a new set at your place, I heard.
I am. New
So
set.
that's going to be revealed. And not to put everyone on the spot.
No, in all
meaning
seriousness,
you.
I actually am building a new set at my
right.
place.
That's right.
Now, I still have the old set, but I'm building a new one. Okay, so,
Yeah.
but things are under construction. So
I heard it looks like Dryden Voss's office.
yeah, it very well
Like you have a
may.
Mandalorian suit in the back.
Wow, spoiler, spoiler,
Couple
Mike.
squirrels in a new showroom. I'm down.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's actually it's gonna be a lot of work. We actually this summer is the perfect time for us to get those Imperial
Yes.
like wall
I love it.
panels going.
Let's do it.
So we're gonna have to get
Let's do it.
after that. Plus we have some good friends in the 501st now who can legitimately know how to do that kind of stuff. So you know
We're just
I'm
gonna
not-
have them over and they're just gonna hang out all the time.
right, exactly. So I'm not too handy. That's what she said, but
That was good.
but anyway,
I prefer Sans hands.
Oh, so and there we go. All right,
love it.
Time to dive into.
We're actually going Sans script today.
We have, you know what? You also, if you're watching on YouTube, and unfortunately, if you're just listening on iTunes, please go check out the YouTube channel.
Yes.
Because you'll notice for the first time, Ez does not have any glare on his
glare.
glasses, unless I do. I don't know. There are two
I think
big
it
lights
actually
here.
looked really good. It's
Okay.
I don't know, the office tones everything down a little bit.
Yeah, it does. It
And you get to
does.
see some of my sweet stuff.
Well, and I'm interested to hear how this audio turns out too. So we're in a different, there is no sound in
no
here.
sound. I mean, just
Than
us.
Us.
It's going to
Yeah.
be a dead zone.
It's great. It's
I'm
fantastic.
not talking about the content.
No, you're not.
Or maybe. I don't
Maybe
know.
we are because there's no outline, so
No.
we'll see.
Hey, Rudy Giuliani just texted you.
Oh, great, sweet. He's not one of my
He's upset.
typical texting buddies. But
I think
Like Mark Hamill.
we're just embodying our president right now because he goes sans script too.
he sure as hell does. You know,
And I like to think maybe he drinks a Ryan Geist.
I'll pour this out if he does.
Yeah, me too.
Don't dishonor Cincinnati.
That's right.
Anyways, let's see here. Let's dive into some. Should we talk Star Wars? I don't know. We don't. I mean, is that?
Yeah.
Should we do that?
I just kind of thought we'd drink.
Just sit
I
here.
want to tell you right now, someone's going to accuse us of being a shill.
You're right.
And I just needed to
You're right.
show everyone that's actually, we set this up so you would
Yeah.
realize that our Disney funds have actually been cut off.
Yep.
And that's why we've had to resort to coming to Mike's office
Yeah.
because
They completely cut Ez
they
off.
just cut him off.
That big check that I wasn't sharing with Mike.
He's actually moving
that's-
in now.
Yeah, I'm here. This is my room, actually. We've. Oh my goodness.
I love it, you shill.
Oh, dude, I still don't know what that is, but I'm glad that I'm not one.
I had a definition for you.
Okay.
I pulled it up on Merriam-Webster and everything. I
Okay.
can't remember what it is.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Basically, you're representing someone or an entity like undercover. You're pretty much just building
Wow.
up support for them without people aren't
Okay.
supposed to know. I don't know. I'm drunk.
No, I understand. I get that. Okay, so I wish I were a shill.
Anyone would be so lucky to just have that access.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the plan though.
You know, hey, let's
Yeah.
back up actually a little
Okay.
bit before
We have no room.
we're right.
So-
There's nowhere else to go. Sorry, buddy. But let's talk about you and I went up to Solo in Ohio.
We did. That was fun.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to talk about that.
Did you hear my
together.
question on their podcast?
I did. I heard your
Killed
question.
it.
You
did you hear the boos?
Was there a boo? I didn't.
Nah, there weren't. I
think that was in your head.
I was a little nervous because I was the only one up there that offered any criticism.
I know.
And I heard some lady go, "What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
I was like, chill down, mom." So,
Mom.
yeah, God, why you gotta show up when I'm trying to hang out with my friends?
Yeah, that was actually what was funny is we were so far back in line to ask a question that all the good questions were taken. So all right, time to call this movie out for a little bit.
Yeah, and we did.
We did. Mike, ask him.
What criticisms do you have? Criticisms do you have? And
yeah.
They
didn't have any, did they?
They didn't have too many. The one thing they said is they would have liked to touch on Chewbacca's backstory a little bit, which I get that.
Right. Yeah.
I felt like we were teased with a we thought was a Mala scene.
Yeah, for sure.
For
sure. The only thing that I disagreed with them on is when you sort of mentioned after your question. So, by the way, we were up in Solo, how we went and watched Rebel Force Radio up there, a live podcast. A couple of good buddies. Yeah, we're on speaking terms.
I think so. We are now.
We are now.
Forcefully.
We forced our way in there. Yeah. So, but
that's what she said.
Right. And so, it was a good time. Our good friend David Fogel came with us, and so we were up there. We barely made it out before the Cavs traffic.
Good timing.
Hit. Beautiful place there, the Palace Theater, right? So it was called Ohio Theater. Not Ohio Theater, Palace Theater. But
Palace, it's Palace something.
It's like the theater district. I mean, I didn't understand. There were so many theaters in that one place that I had no idea where we were going. We were in the basement.
Everyone was dressed up when we walked in.
Yeah, we were
in Star Wars shirts. We're like,
they didn't, Jimmy and Jason didn't say this was going to be a formal event, so I thought we were getting Solo T-shirts. I didn't realize we were dressing up like tie and everything. So that was interesting. We were in there. We actually met. We got to see our good buddy Brian from the 501st.
Yes.
So our young Obi-Wan and a couple other people in there. So, but yeah, we were so far back in line though to ask those questions that we just kind of lost our train of thought there for a little bit. But anyways,
we had some drinks beforehand too. The questions were flowing, and then
they were
absolutely
they were. And back to I lost my train of thought there for a second, which I was getting the point I was driving to was that one of the things that I think it was pretty sure it was Jimmy who was kind of after you had mentioned that you weren't so sure about how. Whether you liked Solo's last name, his origin, and how that, he received, I guess, his last name. Jimmy was kind of like, I was okay with it. He said he was okay with that. And I think Jason never really got a chance to kind of really answer that, just went to more of the critiques. I think if we had a chance to ask him again or talk more about it, is it bothersome? Not necessarily, but I just, to me, the reason I put that in your ear as you're going up was because I kind of wanted to know if anybody else thought that was a little bit odd the way that Solo is handed his name versus saying himself that he's a Solo or these are his people. I don't know. I just thought some random
his actual name.
Yeah, exactly. I know. It just seems like it was handed to him, and then so that random Imperial officer hands him the name Solo, and then he hands it down to Ben Solo. It just doesn't feel as
great point, dude.
It just doesn't feel as significant anymore.
That's actually a great point.
Yeah, that's what I do. I make great points.
Well, it was to hit the fact home that he is alone in the universe and that he has no family, and that was just kind of a reminder of that. But you're right. Some rando just being like, Solo. There you go. Some people loved it, though.
I know.
And it kind of, I don't know, did his theme kind of go in then, like the music just picked up or whatever? It just kind of was an empowering moment.
I mean, a lot of people saw it as a good moment. Yeah. I almost wish there was another way to sort of show that he himself chose the name, whether it was actually his given name or not. If Han would have chosen it because he is flying Solo,
that would have been cool.
That would have been kind of neat.
Great point. Yeah, I think he should have done it.
There would have been another way to do it there. But anyways, so other critiques. Did they have any other critiques? Just kind of wanted to.
I mentioned Chewie's backstory. Yeah, I can't remember what Jason said. He had one small criticism. I can't remember, but everyone else. It was a very positive crowd. You had a lot of deep fans,
and it was. I thought it was people who have gone to see the movie. It's being received fairly well. The problem is that not as many people are going to see the movie as they thought would go see the movie.
What do you think those boycotters are thinking now? Do you think they've seen it by now?
Oh, I think so too. I think they just avoid that opening weekend. It's just to spite, and then I think they're going to see it. They've heard about. By the way, major spoilers ahead. We're going to be talking about the entire movie, beginning to end.
Yeah.
They've heard about Darth Maul.
Yeah,
like they've heard about it, and you can't avoid it on Twitter, and so they want to go see how this plays out and what it really means, implications, etc. So, I think they're regretting not going to see it with a positive crowd. That the energy that you have, sort of opening night and that opening weekend, is pretty powerful. So to go with,
you think they feel like they're missing out, like. There's that special group of Star Wars folks that they really liked engaging with, and they're isolating themselves now.
Yeah,
because they think it's going to make a difference.
Yeah, I don't know. So, I haven't looked much into the boycotters. I don't know.
I got a story for you.
Okay, that's fine, because I don't know much about them and what they're. I love Star Wars, and so I will go see it, and it has to do something really, they have to really. I don't know. I do something wrong for me to kind of want to say I'm good now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm willing to forgive a couple. I'm willing to look over that Solo situation. A lot of people like the way his name was given to him, and that's okay. I just would have done it a little differently. Outside of that, it didn't like take me out of the whole movie, and it didn't make me not appreciate the rest of the story.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some people are all or nothing. They have to see one thing. They had to see Luke ignite the green in The Last Jedi.
Which he did,
but not in the way that they wanted.
Let's not forget.
Right? But not in the way that they wanted to, right?
That's true.
So if it doesn't happen the way they want to, they get a little bit out of shape. And it's okay to be bent out of shape, but then I don't understand this boycotting. So what's your story?
Well, as I visited the dark side of Star Wars this past weekend, I don't know what video it was that caused this, but now this crap is all over my feed.
Okay.
I think I know what it was. You know how a few weeks ago, John Campea came out and said that he was being like berated, and people were telling him they hope he gets cancer and his mom dies of cancer.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
All that unnecessary crap. There's this guy who has a channel. I can't even remember the name of it. It's like Mega BSers, or like, I mean, he uses the actual phrase, but like media BSers. It's something along those lines. I'll find it for. I kind of want to reference it too, because like this guy just has nothing positive to talk about.
Okay.
He's out there ripping Disney people, Kathleen Kennedy, people like John Campea and Collide, all these people that have any sort of following. He's jumping on this. Hello
there.
He's jumping on this fact of that they're all Disney shills, and you deserve. You asked to be treated like this. Just by the way, because he was referencing John Campea calling like the people that that disliked The Last Jedi hillbillies or something like that.
Oh,
and so he was justifying all these terrible things that people were saying about him, saying he asked for this and he deserves it, which is terrible, because like he wasn't addressing people disagreeing with him. Like that's not what he said. He said it's not right that people are making these kinds of comments, and that it's just not. It's not healthy for Star Wars fandom. Like that's very toxic. Like you don't go on someone's feed and tell them you hope they die of cancer, or that their mother dies. That is so. Even if like, I just don't. It's not even like it's the most terrible thing you could say about anyone, and it's just not even relevant to your like argument that it was a bad movie. Like it's just you have an opinion, leave it. That's fine, but like. You don't even know this person. You don't even know who he is. How could you wish such terrible things on anyone? Like nonetheless, like someone you don't even know. You literally know this person from nothing. And this guy has like 40-some thousand followers. And that's all he does. It's just negative, just crap about certain people in the industry that he doesn't like because they're Disney shills.
Wow.
And that just sent me down some dark rabbit hole. And I was like, what is this crap?
Wow.
It was mind-blowing. It's not one positive thing said on the channel. It's crazy. Not even just like, hey, I had a good day. Like, it's just ripping people apart.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
I don't even know what to say to
where
that.
to go. It sounds like you visited the dark side. It sounds like you were basically in a nest of just hate and is it self-loathing involved? Who is this guy?
I don't know. I gotta find him. I gotta find him.
Send him my way.
I will. It's just like, I hope he says something about this podcast. It's like, bro, we got like 1,300 listeners. Come on, we're no John.
Normally,
but the moment you wish my mom, cancer, we're gonna have problems.
That's right. Normally I say on this channel, reward positivity with positivity.
Yeah.
But there's a line, my friend.
Yeah.
And I draw it right in front of Star Wars. Okay.
Wow. Yeah.
So
you shall.
So interesting. We'll have to look this guy up afterwards and kind of. I normally don't like to go seek that sort of stuff out, but sometimes there's a dark presence in the galaxy, and you
have to seek it out.
You need to inquire, and you need to proceed with caution, but it needs investigated, my friend. And I think I'll need your support.
Oh, trust me, I've been there. I know.
Show me the way.
Some may say that I could, plot out, the unknown regions like Thrawn.
I see.
So we can go through that. It's the same type of people that have just expressed a ton of hate towards like Kathleen Kennedy and stuff, and that the Force is feminine. I love that they're literally taking that as she thinks that like the Force itself is a feminine, like feminine spirit. And that like females dominate that's not what she was saying. She's trying to I don't know. She's trying to make it inclusive of like more than half of the population on this planet, and to embrace her daughters in this culture. That's what it was about. It wasn't that the actual Force is feminine. Like, people are literally nuts, man. I don't know what to say.
Well, you just said it.
They're nuts.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Though, Mike, we're in a position where we should, in this little tiny cramped space here, where we pass on what we've learned. Okay. Yeah. And so when we seek out this dark individual, just he seemed shrouded in the dark side.
Some may call him a phantom menace.
I'm starting to think he is. Yeah. When we seek him out, I think we need to keep all of that in mind. Keep the fact that there could be something. Normally, with those type of people, there's something going on here, right? There's something going on the inside.
That's right.
Maybe we can be a mirror.
He needs to take a deep introspective dive. And I would love to hear his conversations that just don't have anything to do with Star Wars. Is he that passionate?
So he actually has a channel, and he's
absolutely.
Wow.
I will find it. We will talk about it again. Okay. And something else, man. I happened to stumble across Mike Zero's stuff too, because it's all kind of related. Funny thing about Mike Zero, he doesn't. I mean, his credibility is ridiculous, but
sure,
he doesn't participate in that kind of discussion. I think he is really excited about Star Wars, but you know what? He attracts that fandom that absolutely are bashing Kathleen Kennedy and saying everything's garbage right now.
Okay.
They're still seeking out episode 9 plots and commenting on the videos.
Really?
Like, they're still wanting to know this stuff. Like, I never go to Mike Zero's page.
Wow.
Other than that kind of, when we first started this, I was just like, who is this guy?
I know.
What the hell's going on here? But his news is attracting those people. They are still just go tonight. I will show you a comment feed. It's all those folks in that fandom that are just have a lot of hate right now, and they're still curious.
But you say Mike
I did my research.
Mike Zero is not involved in that. He's not.
I watched a couple of his videos. He does not. He just offers that speculation of those inside sources that he has, and those people are going in and just ripping it.
Wow.
The story, not even him. They're like, oh, great channel, but this is crap. The Force is feminine. Like, you're going and looking up episode 9 speculation, but you're participating in a Star Wars boycott. Yeah. I don't get it. Don't get it.
You know what this is starting to remind me of? You mentioned the Phantom Menace, right?
Harry Potter.
Well, not that.
Okay.
Unfortunately. Or fortunately. No, it's starting to remind me of an individual, during the time of the Republic. Okay. I believe his name was Sheev.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Comes across like a nice guy, making nice YouTube videos, right? Just spitting out the news. Has informants everywhere, and secretly is fanning the fire behind the scenes. If that's what Mike Zero's up to, Sith Lords.
He was the leader, yeah.
Are our speciality.
Yes. And you better watch out because we're coming for y'all at Celebration. I can't wait. They're going to get Celebration tickets because, you know, they're coming out tomorrow.
Right.
They're going to go get Celebration tickets because they're going to feel like they're going to miss out on some cool news or something next year. Like,
right.
I don't know.
But, Mike, are they allowed to be mad? I mean, are they allowed to be mad?
They absolutely are. We said that when The Last Jedi came out.
Yeah.
You can be upset about the direction. You could be upset about the fact that Luke... But you can't go around telling people that you hope their mother dies because they dislike your opinion on something. You can't do that. You're a terrible person. Like, I just... And I'm also so sick of talking about it, but I just went down that hole and I was like, these folks are still going to these speculation videos about episode 9. You're a joke.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. You and I just had sort of a little business meeting, and we were talking about that it's time for us to start diving into that episode 9 speculation as well.
Yes.
And so the only way I can explain it, it's outlined in The Last Jedi, is that powerful light, powerful dark. Yeah. So the light will rise to meet the darkness.
It will,
and you know that's our burden to bear, friend.
Put it on our backs.
Put it on our back. We're a caravan of courage.
That's right. We got a posse.
We're not
maybe too strong, but
that's right. We're not going to be stopped, friends. So,
and you know, I mentioned something when I called you today after work. You can't lose hope.
Yeah.
Okay. Because hope is like the sun.
Yeah.
If you only believe in it when you see it,
right,
you'll never make it through the night.
Yep.
So some of those people are taking a dark path, and I hope they know which way they're going.
Yeah. You know, and sometimes it's realization, right? So once you realize what you're into, and you realize the dark, you know, rabbit hole that you're in, it's realization. What you do when you realize it is what matters.
Yeah, man.
Right? So I think that's going to be our job as you lead me back to this this Sith Lord, and I take him on.
I mean, as one minute.
Okay.
No, 1 minute you're wishing you know, shill Star Wars fans, you know, ill, and the next minute you're looking around, you're doing, you know, fentanyl laced heroin with your friends. So it's a dark path.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Be careful, friends.
That's right.
Be careful. So okay, let's dive a little bit into.
Sorry about the little divergence there.
No, I think it's fine. It was you know, I didn't know it was out there. I didn't know this dark presence was out there, and so I've been informed, and I've now have my own realization, and I need to go rise against it.
You have to seek it out.
But Solo, what did you think, Mike? What were your thoughts? What were your initial? What was your initial reaction to the?
Well, as it made me after watching the film, it made me want to make a review video called "In Defense of Solo: A Star Wars Story."
Wow,
get another 14,000 views.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we don't get that Disney money anymore, so I can be as critical as I want.
Okay, good.
I'm just kidding. But I really enjoyed it. The beginning was a little odd with the Lady Proxima. Was that her name?
Yeah, Lady Proxima.
But I'll tell you right now, that speeder chase was fun. It was,
yeah.
One of the most realistic things that I've seen in Star Wars with CGI and those effects and stuff.
Yeah.
That was really fun. It got me really hyped up. I absolutely loved Alden Ehrenreich. I actually enjoyed him more than I did Donald Glover.
Me too.
And it's not...
Surprise.
Yeah, Donald Glover's great.
No, he's fantastic.
He killed it.
That should say a lot for Alden.
Exactly. I think like he had more of a presence than... And maybe that's what it was, but... I liked Lando. I thought he was fine, and it had nothing to do with him being pansexual or whatever. What everyone's upset about right now.
Are they? See, I mean,
oh, bro, that's another dark hole that I went down. I swear it was.
Wow,
it's
I
insane.
just sit up in the Jedi High Council tower, and I don't know. I send Mike out, and he.
Oh, I'm just 8 levels and underneath Coruscant. I'm in the dark.
You're in the underworld.
Yeah. But I really enjoyed. I wasn't even comparing him to Harrison Ford at all throughout the movie. I wasn't. I noticed his little mannerisms, like holding his belt, and some of the really the narrow eyes and kind of the jokes and stuff. But I never at any point was comparing him to Harrison Ford because I enjoyed the character that he was portraying. He was he was fun, and he was upbeat, and he was so much more upbeat than Harrison Ford. It was easy for me to separate them. But knowing this is the character and he's eventually going to become something else, but I just thought he was fabulous in that role. I don't know. I loved him in that
I agree with you. It was his body language. I think that was the one thing he could really control, those mannerisms and stuff. He had those down to a T. Yeah. You know, like the nods and the, you know, it's the slight grin, tilt of the head type of stuff that he did at the end of the movie. Yeah. It all really felt like, you know, Harrison Ford's Han Solo. So I thought that was kind of neat. And there were times where he nailed, where he did sound more like him, but that wasn't really, you know, I wasn't holding him to say like he has to sound this. He sounded fine. That's asking too much, I think. So
they had him do a couple things. He jumped in the cockpit. He said a couple things that Han says, but in no way, shape, or form did I think he was trying to impersonate people. And that's where I couldn't disagree more with the critics, is they left saying Alden was all right, but like Lando stole the show. I did not get that at all, unless there was some extended cut that they got to see. I did not think that he stole the show at all.
Yeah, I didn't either, honestly. I was actually surprised at how that he wasn't in it as much.
Exactly.
So I know when he's there, he's great, and he did an awesome job, fantastic, like literally fantastic. Yeah. But I think Alden was also fantastic. Yeah. So I don't know. That's kind of where I was on this main two characters. The other thing, Jonas as Chewbacca was amazing.
He was great. Yeah.
He did a great job.
He really did.
All those mannerisms are hard to pull off. I've heard him kind of talk about that and what it means to, you know, to kind of keep Chewie looking the same, and everything. So I don't know. Peter Mayhew has talked. I mean, he's talked about the relationship that they have, and it's a good one. And just passing on, you know, what he has learned has been really cool to kind of see.
Yeah. So. I really liked Woody Harrelson. I mean, he was just the predictable character that we thought he was. We thought he was gonna probably turn on Han at some point. Yeah. I didn't really see Han being 2 steps ahead.
I know.
Just like he mentioned in the chess game to Chewbacca, he was listening. He was listening, and he told him that. He said, "I actually was listening when you talked to Chewbacca. Yep. Like I was not trusting anyone other than Chewbacca." Yep. But I loved that. I thought Kira was fun too. Obviously, the reveal at the end was huge, and I just turned as I was blown away. I was like, "What?
What is going on?
Let's go read that Sons of Dathomir comic right now."
Yeah.
But the one thing that took me a little getting used to was, I mean, when they threw Han in the prison cage thing.
Sure. Yeah.
I thought there was a Rancor coming.
Yeah.
I told you, I was like, Rancor, dude, this would be insane if he fought off something like that.
Yep.
It took me a second to get used to Chewie being this just like, I don't know, he looked really thin, and just mangly. I was just like, I feel like this is like Swamp Thing coming out of here. It took me a second, but the humor worked really well to bring me right out of that.
Right, yeah.
You know, it worked so well that we'd never heard someone attempt to speak like,
I know,
like Wookiee.
Like Wookiee,
It was awesome.
It was awesome.
I loved that. Yeah. He had to earn his trust somehow. He's like, wait a second, this human speaks
right, yeah.
What?
He's like, yeah, I know a little. Yeah, that was great. And he did look, it was muddy, wet. I think it was a different Chewbacca we hadn't seen, right? You know, and he'd probably been down there, he hadn't eaten, and they said days, right? 3 days, something like that. So yeah, it did took you back a little bit, like, whoa, that's Chewbacca, like, you know, you kind of got that from the other Wookiees that you saw later on Kessel. You know, just their look they looked a little different.
They looked like Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah, a little bit.
Harry was weird.
Yeah. So, but I actually liked their all the Wookiee humor. I mean, just couldn't get enough of it. Honestly, it was fantastic. So Chewbacca was awesome.
In the prison pen, I thought you saw the dead stormtrooper or whatever that had the arms ripped off.
Yeah.
I thought that was the arm ripping off reference we were going to get.
Right, yeah.
And then they were in that elevator thing or whatever.
Yeah. That was so awesome.
That's the only suit that was going to fit me. That was really good. That was cool though. We read Last Shot.
Yeah.
Fully expecting that something was going to happen to L3, and it surely did.
Yeah, it did.
But the bringing her back as one of the 3 droid brains.
Yep.
Just that little detail, you're just like legends. That's awesome. Like it was. I know. Yeah, that was so cool.
That was honestly because she's, I mean, her navigational charts and computer is it's off the charts. It's really good, and that just makes the Millennium Falcon that much more special.
Yeah.
So
Well, and then you can go back to like episode 5. I think it's episode 5, where C-3PO plugs in.
Oh, yeah,
and he's just
absolutely.
like, your ship is like, I don't even remember what he says, but pretty much just like it's hard to get along with.
and
like,
the dialect, right?
Yeah, and the dialect. Yeah. Like it's just like that's that personality, and that was one really cool way of just like weaving things in.
Tying it together.
You never thought you would question like how like what they were talking about, and
Right.
now it makes sense. It's
Yep.
just it was
It's a part of the history
fun.
of the ship. Yeah.
Yeah, and we just read about that in the Essential Guide to
Yeah.
like vehicles and stuff.
Yeah,
It
we
was
did.
So cool.
We did. Yeah. Yeah, the stuff with the Falcon and how it was sort of, the damage that it took going through making the Kessel Run.
Yeah.
The modifications and the work that needs done afterwards is it makes a lot more sense, because when you first see Lando's, ship, you're like, what? How in the world is this going to be the Millennium Falcon?
Yeah.
This is, I don't, it just, there's no way there's a bunch of wear and tear on it over how many years, but yeah, they put it through its, they've really, got its, got their mileage out of it. So,
And as much as everyone was saying like I want to see that Kessel Run, that was one thing everyone wanted to see.
yeah.
Didn't feel like it was that necessary. It wasn't as cool as I was thinking it was going to be.
Right. Actually, the Kessel Run comes off. It's very different than what I thought it was going to be as well. So the fact that they have to kind of avoid the, it's just like there's no good way to get through. It's less that the ship is fast, right?
Han had some maneuvers.
He had some maneuvers, and
We learned that
it's the ship that survives the Kessel Run. Really,
It's always just surviving.
Yeah, right. So it was just a little different, and I still liked it. I still think it's neat and it's interesting. So but you can definitely see now in Legends they go back and talk about the Kessel Run a little bit more and how dangerous it is.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the one part that I was taking when I was like, I can see how now canonized and what we see on film, this is dangerous, right? And there's no point to try to make it any more dangerous than you have to, unless your life is in jeopardy, right? So,
Absolutely. And they poked fun at it. Han saying, I made it in 12, and well, if you round down, it's 12, pretty much at 12 parsecs.
Right. Yeah.
You had little references like that were fun, and him shooting Woody Harrelson's character, I can't even remember what his name is now.
Tobias Beckett.
Tobias, kind of settling the argument possibly of did Greedo shoot first?
Right.
Well, not in the remastered version apparently.
Right. Yeah. Well, Han shoots first. Yeah, absolutely. And that's settled. Okay, that's settled.
Yeah. Or is there something that happens later on that he learns not to shoot first?
Maybe. I don't know.
Shoots Kira.
Wow.
And a draw.
Or doesn't. Right. And then
or
pays the
price.
Pays the price. Yeah. Who knows? There's a lot. What did you think about Han's relationship with Kira? That dynamic, was it cool? Did you like that, or?
It was cool, kind of predictable, but I didn't think that she would be in the position she was in.
Yeah,
or as ruthless.
I didn't think she'd make it. I didn't
either.
I didn't think she'd survive the film.
Yeah.
So that was a huge shock to me. I get though the lessons, and I get the idea that she just doesn't want to have anybody telling her what to do. She's seeking more and more power because she knows what it's like to be oppressed and things like that. So maybe in her mind using Darth Maul or trying to save Han. Trying to throw Crimson Dawn completely off of Han. Is that what she's doing? Is it more of that, or is it more just like seeking power herself?
Yeah. No, it's
the questions I was walking away with.
No, absolutely. And did you notice at the end that Han was a little more, I think, optimistic about things than we thought he would be left in, like that state? It's like, were they so certain that this would be successful that they were setting it up for a sequel? Because I can believe that more is going to happen before he gets to Tatooine.
Oh, yeah.
But I also can believe that just like he's on Tatooine for a while and he just kind of becomes, kind of a sourpuss, and things are a little like right into episode 4 then. But
I think they left it open, even if they don't tell the story, that something happens between Kira and he has another run in and things like that. The fact that she's still out there, more can happen, and there's years and years until he runs into Obi-Wan and Luke there on the spaceport. So I don't know, man. I think I was a little he has Chewbacca. He has like a new friend, and he has a ship.
Yes.
You know, and so I can see why he is still kind of happy and optimistic. Like now he's free.
Yeah.
You know, he's sort of free to do what he wants, which is cool. So, you know, Kira did kind of secure that for him, and maybe she's trying to work towards it herself by going to Darth Maul. I'm not sure. So she's stepping up the ladder, you know?
Yeah.
So, but I mean, still in her mind, everyone has a boss, and no one can really truly get away.
That's right.
And I do kind of think in a way she did that for Han. I think she helps to completely. His name is never mentioned, is it? I mean, maybe it could have been by Dryden. I don't know.
Not to
Darth Maul.
Yeah. What does she say about
unless
that?
Unless Dryden has, went to him and said something, but I don't think he did. I think he was waiting to see what would happen first.
Yeah.
I think he's waiting to see whether the Kessel Run is going to be successful.
Exactly.
So I don't know. So I mean, I guess just in my final thought on overall impression, leaving it, I liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. Fast. It was. I thought it was paced well the entire way. Some people said it slowed down, but I thought the ending was so intricate and tricky. You didn't know who was going to survive.
Yeah.
You had no idea who was going to walk out of there. I mean, you knew Han and Chewie were, but you just didn't know how it was going to work.
Yeah.
And I thought that was great. So that bit of writing and plot sequence was really good.
It was
really good.
Cool. The Enfys Nest thing. I mean, wasn't exactly who we thought, but I don't know. It was kind of cool that they all like we said, Han was 2 steps ahead and he worked with them. It was cool that she was some younger, chick who was taking up her mother's armor. And I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
And who knows, apparently she's part of the rebellion, but you saw like 2 tubes there that was with Saul Guerrera. With the Dreamers. I mean, I don't know. They were pretty ruthless there, but they were pretty optimistic. Like, I don't know. It seemed like a different mentality than Saul's group. So gives you an idea that there really are a bunch of different groups, and we saw that in Rogue One.
Well, what's crazy is you see him, and that's almost him before he gets involved with Saul. So, is actually. So, it's interesting how Saul's dynamic really changed a lot of people, too, and kind of accelerated the plans of the Rebel Alliance. But,
absolutely.
But, I don't know. So, overall, I really liked it. What I really want to talk about here, as we kind of push through towards the end of this episode, Kira and what her role is going forward. What's the plan, man? Is she force sensitive? Why is it that Darth Maul is just cool with her? I mean, how well is she known to Darth Maul? I don't know.
Said they were going to be working a lot more closely, so they've worked together before.
Yeah, and there's that
basis.
There's that reference to Masters of Terra Sky, right? The video game, and just that style of fighting that she learned, which is pretty neat. So maybe that's some of where he might have been involved. I'm not sure, but it's going to be interesting to see what she does, in the future and who she is.
I don't know how you would do that with Maul either in a live action film, because we heard that Sam Witwer did the voice there, and that was actually Ray Park, and it worked because it was a hologram. It was kind of, I don't know, radio-y, I guess, but I don't think you could do that in a film. It would not work for me, voiceover like that for an actual.
No, I think they just did it to give Sam Witwer
some props.
Yeah, I think they did. I think they'd be fine going with Ray Park just doing limited lines.
That's the thing, is how much exposure does Ray Park have to a big role like that? I don't know. I only know him in 2 films, Star Wars, and was there an X-Men movie that he was in?
I think so. Yeah.
So that's the only films I know him from. And they were very limited roles. Right. So you could do an animated version, which would be cool. On the Disney streaming service or something, but it was cool. You could never talk about it again. And I'm like, Maul showing up, he's the one who connects all the I mean, we knew Clone Wars and Rebels, he was connecting those with the prequels, but holy cow, another big feature film he's referenced in. Well, they had to get a lightsaber in there at some point.
Absolutely.
In the Force.
They did. So but I think at a later date we might tackle Kira a little bit more in depth, and maybe who she could be.
Is she Mara Jada
from Legends? Is she Rey's mom? all these questions that were laughed at by Rebel Force Radio.
Bunch of shills.
We're not afraid to ask.
Yeah, take my money away and see
let me
what
go
happens.
down those rabbit holes. So,
well, I'll say this as a little nugget in all that. All the promotion they did for the movies, they did all those individual shots of the characters, and each of them had a color hue.
Yeah,
and she had purple.
She did.
So
she did.
I'm just saying, Ez.
My goodness, dude.
Yeah, tying it all together.
Wow.
Right here on Rebel Watch.
Wow.
Heard it here first.
Yeah. No, I think other people are talking about that. Maybe not the poster, but the bit about her being Mara Jade, and so it is something.
Crazy.
It is something we want to talk about in the future as we get into our speculation for 9. You know, because some of the early reviews that you heard coming out of Solo were that the events in this movie or at the end would carry the conversation clear to Episode 9.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
What are your odds that she's force sensitive? We'll leave it at that.
Force sensitive, I would say
out of 10.
Out of 10, I'm gonna say 7.
Wow. Let's go.
I'm gonna say 7.
Wow.
Because she survives the streets of Corellia. I think there's more to it.
Great point.
For the Force, the Force can also be, you know, not necessarily like Force push and all these different, but it can also be something like Force persuasion.
Oh, you mean like Theron from Annihilation Old Republic?
Yeah, exactly like that.
Just like that.
Good call, my friend. And also sort of like Leia.
Yeah.
You know,
great point.
Do we see even in times of great distress and things like that, do we see her using the Force or inadvertently like putting her hand up and then all of a sudden a Force push happens? No, but hers it came through her speaking and her politics and her. It happens with Revan's son. Yep. Right. You know, he's not necessarily he's Force sensitive, but not to that degree, right? So could she be trained to use her abilities in the way that Leia was trained in Legends from Luke? You know, Leia becomes a Jedi in Legends, and so possibly, you know,
could she be Snoke?
Wow. Do you know what we're gonna do before anybody else? Well, I don't want to say it on the podcast. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah. Just like those tickets for Celebration go on sale June 8th, everyone.
Right. Yeah.
So
they're not happening today or tomorrow or whenever. I will say though, some any other thoughts on Solo, my friend, before I get into show news?
Do you want to? I don't know. We want more Star Wars stories because they can give us those little nuggets that not so much the trilogy, the main saga trilogy, has done. I love them and I want more of them. I think we both want an Obi-Wan movie, as does everyone in the galaxy. So just give it to us.
Right. Yeah.
That I don't understand. That's where I'll hang out with the dark side there and say, what the hell are you doing? Everyone is on like the darkest side, the lightest side. That should have been what came out first.
Sure,
I'm sorry.
I agree that Solo didn't need to come out when it did, but I think Obi-Wan's coming for sure. Did they actually announce Boba Fett?
No, Hollywood Reporter had information, but they've talked about they had one with Solo too. The same exact story came out about Obi-Wan. Same story came out.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not sold on the Boba Fett movie being a thing, to be honest with you. So
no,
I know I've seen some of the articles and stuff, but there hasn't been an official announcement. So
yeah,
correct.
No, I mean someone's saying that like Mangold, the guy who did Old Man Logan or Logan, whatever you call it, that he would be writing it and directing it, which would be cool.
Yeah.
To see Boba Fett finding his way in the galaxy after being kind of screwed over.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That would be cool, but like, I don't know. We heard similar crap about Obi-Wan, and if you're going to believe those timeline events, the one that's been released, then Obi-Wan should come first.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's go. Especially now after Solo not making as much money as they wanted it to.
Yeah, I don't know that Obi-Wan will come close to making what the main saga.
Oh yeah,
films.
Everyone will go see it.
I think they will, just because of it's more well known and things. You know, I will say, remember we were on our way up to Solo in Ohio, and those guys were talking to us about where does Solo take place. They're like, where in the timeline? We don't understand. Like where is it at?
Someone asked us if it was a continuation.
Yeah, and I get the concerns with like, you know, not knowing where it's at, where does it fit, etc. That's always been a thing for Star Wars, though. It's like, is this happening before the? Wait, it's newer, but it's prequels, but like, you know, that's always been sort of a discussion. And so you just have to ask. You just causes you to go get into the community. I mean, Darth Maul popping up, you know, ask your high schooler, you know, who he is and what happened to him in Clone Wars. They probably know. Absolutely. They've watched the Clone Wars, so they can tell you he comes back and all those deep and sweaty details. So yeah,
absolutely, man. Bring on Obi-Wan.
Yeah, bring it on. I think it'll be announced at Celebration.
I do too, and you know what? Then the boycotters are going to bust out the cobwebs.
We said this last year. We said this last year, didn't we? Like, we're like, Obi-Wan will be announced last day or day 2 or something. You know, we did. We kept saying it, just like Solo was announced in London. Didn't happen, but it's happening this time.
It better, man.
Has to.
Or they announce it tonight right before Celebration tickets go on sale. Those things probably sell out on their own anyway.
No, they will. Yeah. They better hold off on that.
I mean, so June 8th.
Right. Not tomorrow.
Not tomorrow.
Right. So, let's see. Any other
show news
there? No? Okay. Really just a couple quick updates here for Mike and I. You know, we're going to be bringing the podcast to you each week. We are going to work on a couple. He and I have been reading some of the Legends books, and I think if you're down, my friend, we're going to continue to read some of those.
Yes.
We have the Thrawn book, which is coming out soon. We want to get that and read it. Most Wanted came and went. I looked at it. I'm going to read it in my own time, I think. And then
it's a junior novel, too.
Yeah, it kind of is a junior novel, but so it's a quicker read, but it's really just more about the relationship between Han and Kira, you know, growing up. And I can see now why they saved it. It's more about their, you know, that they're intimate. We didn't know if they were lovers. We didn't know if they were kid friends, or if he saw her later. We didn't know if she was from Corellia. We had no idea, really. So you know, they didn't want to spoil it, but yeah,
makes sense.
So we have that coming out. A couple updates to our Patreon page too. Mike and I are still working through some of that, but we'll post those updates on the Facebooks.
Yeah,
the Books of Face.
That's right.
Whatever they're called.
That's right.
You know, so
maybe even bring back MySpace as.
We might.
I heard it's coming back.
You never know, guys. So that would be going to a dark place, wouldn't it?
We'd have to pull up mine just to show everyone. I mean, I think Stained is probably still playing there.
Yeah. Mad World is playing really somewhere on mine.
Yeah, yours was actually awesome. It's
pretty sick.
You were in my top 8.
Yeah, thanks, man.
For sure. I think you're actually number 1.
I don't even know.
Besides my ex, who's probably
number 2.
Yeah, probably. Damn.
Oh, that's funny. That's awesome. All right. Well, all right, guys. Thanks for listening. Check us out, as I said, on Facebook there for some of the updates for the show and for the Patreon. If you wouldn't mind, hit us up on iTunes. Give us a review there. Leave your comments down below as to what you thought about Solo. And as always, remember, may the Force be with you.